This is a very important workshop that is organized by the ministry to sensitize the media and the civil society and the non-governmental organizations about the protocols, or about the AFCFTA protocols, and also the opportunities that are in these protocols, and then also sensitize the media on the implementation processes of the AFCFTA. It's an important workshop that the ministry, as part of our sensitization plan, have organized. And before I start the statement, I also want to thank the multi team for organizing this very important workshop, not also forgetting the collaboration that the ministry team has with Tango. Tango is a very key partner that have been working closely with government in the economic partnership agreements. I remembered that we work closely with Tango. In fact, in the negotiations of the economic partnership agreement under ECOWAS was structured that in any negotiations we have the presence of the civil society represented by Tango and then the private sector. Now the AFCFTA is no exception. The civil society, non-governmental organization, the media, they are very central in the operations in the operations of the AFCFTA, both at the level of the negotiation. A lot of publicity have been given, and also now that we are going into the implementation phase, many of the African citizens need to know about this project that we have, and also in terms of the implementation of the project, the protocol itself. What are the legal requirements? What are the rights that citizens have? They need to know. What are the opportunities that they have to be able to trade within the Gambia here and also beyond the Gambia? They need to know. And there is no better partner than the civil society and the media to be able to support the government in this process. This is why the ministry feels that this workshop is very important for us to meet you so that we share the information we have with regards to AFCFTA, both in terms of its protocols and also the programs that we have at hand. Now, the objective of the workshop is to increase the awareness and understanding of the AFCFTA protocols among the non-governmental organization and the media organization in the Gambia, and the benefits and opportunities created by the AFCFTA. It will help strengthen the active engagement and participation of the civil society organizations and the media in the implementation of the AFCFTA. In this process, the ministry will collaborate strongly with the non-governmental organizations through Tango and the media to build the capacities of these organizations to have a better understanding of the AFCFTA protocols and the implementation processes to ensure inclusivity and also advocacy for the effective implementation of the AFCFTA. As you know, the AFCFTA agreement itself is one of the single most ambitious undertakings made by the African Union in advancing the cause of African regional integration project since the launch of the Agenda 2063. It aims at boosting inter-Africa trade to promote economic growth, structural transformation, and industrialization of African countries, leading to increased productivity, job creation, and higher value exports among African countries. This is important for the Gambia, as the AFCFTA is to make it easier for African businesses to integrate regionally and tap into global and regional supply chains. The Gambia does continue to participate effectively in the negotiations organized both at the level of ECOWAS and the AFCFTA Secretariat to address outstanding issues relating to the protocol on trade in goods and the protocol on trade in services, as well as phase 2 related protocols on investment, competition, and intellectual property rights. The official implementation of the AFCFTA started effective January 2021, and as part of the preparation to ensure the effective commencements of trade under the agreement, the government of the Gambia has undertaken certain initiatives to consolidate its preparedness. This includes the formulation of the AFCFTA National Implementation Strategy through the technical support of the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa. The main objectives of the strategy is to leverage deeper integration within Africa to maximize welfare gains and food security, boost trade and investments, and support structural transformation and industrialization to enhance the employment and business opportunities for the Gambia's growing population. The strategy is therefore the national strategic framework for the implementation of the AFCFTA in the Gambia, and it identifies priority actions that will be undertaken by the government for over 10 years, from 2020 to 2030 to effectively realize the potential benefits of the AFCFTA. To ensure effective participation during the negotiations and the implementation of the AFCFTA, the Ministry of Trade, Industry, Regional Integration and Employment has established a national AFCFTA implementation committee to serve as the high-level interministerial committee comprising of the ministries, the departments, agencies, the private sector, the non-governmental organizations. The committee is designed to provide technical support and promote high-level political oversight and coordination relating to AFCFTA negotiations and implementation in the Gambia. The committee is also required to undertake sensitization to raise awareness among the regulatory authorities, including the customs, the standard setting bodies, the immigration authorities, as well as raising awareness among key economic operators, including the private sector, the exporters, the importers, the media, the logistic industries, and also the non-governmental organizations, as well as trade support institutions under the AFCFTA. Under this committee, four thematic technical working groups were established to support both the ongoing AFCFTA negotiations and also during the implementation of the agreement itself. Now, recently, the Gambia has also expressed its interest in joining the second pilot of the AFCFTA Guided Trade Initiative. As I said, the implementation of the AFCFTA itself started effective 1st January 2021. But to ensure that we have meaningful commercial activity, the Guided Trade Initiative has been created. And that's why the Gambia, as an effective partner, also want to participate in this Guided Trade Initiative. The Guided Trade Initiative is a solution-oriented approach that aims to facilitate trade between interested state parties by connecting businesses and products for export and import to help kickstart commercial meaningful trade under the AFCFTA preferences. The overall objective of the Guided Trade Initiative is thus to demonstrate the efficiency of the legal framework of the AFCFTA instruments and provide a feedback on the effectiveness of the legal and institutional national systems in the participating countries. The ministry is currently engaging businesses through targeted sensitization in order to facilitate and support the Gambia's participation in the AFCFTA Guided Trade Initiative. The ministry is thus committed to working closely with partners and key stakeholders, including the non-governmental organizations, the civil society, and the media, in order to build and strengthen the Gambia's institutional policy and regulatory frameworks to enhance the business environment, as well as support businesses through the right policies and programs to compete and to integrate and to integrate them into the African market created by the AFCFTA. In conclusions, I want to thank all of you for coming. We look forward to strengthening the ministry's collaboration with the civil society, in particular Tango, for working closely with the non-governmental organizations, as well as strengthening our collaboration with the partnership, with the private sector, particularly the MSMEs that are very key. We also look forward to strengthening our engagement with the media. We will be inviting you to the sensitization activities that we are going. And let me register the appreciation of the ministry in the support that we get from the media, particularly the work that we are doing under the AFCFTA. I want to emphasize the remarks made by Maud Lamin and Mr. Taylor on the need for us to strengthen this collaboration, because for us to be able to reach the majority of our population, particularly those at the grassroots level, we need to work closely with you. And that's the way forward for the ministry. And I'm happy to say that the effective engagement between the media and the ministry, as well as with the non-governmental organizations under Tango, is something that is very central in the work of the ministry, in the work plan that we have developed in terms of supporting sensitization and the implementation of the AFCFTA going forward. So on that note, I want to thank you for coming. This demonstrates also the importance that you place in supporting government in national development, but also more importantly, in ensuring that the Gambian people are aware of what is happening, both at the national level and also government's engagements at the regional and continental level. So this partnership will be strengthened. And on that note, I want to thank you all. We look forward to your effective participation. This is your day. We created this day for us to be able to share with you the information we have, and it will include the agreements, the various agreements that we have, the various programs that we are being implemented under the AFCFTA, so that at least you also help us in ensuring that the Gambian community is aware of this.
How do we ensure that we add value to those products and exploit the African market? Knowing that the AFCFTA has one of its principles is to eliminate tariffs, this will present to us as an opportunity, especially the Gambia, given that we are really small, but then we can also have produce that we can make and then export outside there to sell as made in Gambia. So given that, again, because of our economic empowerment programs, the role of NGOs is important because one, we can advocate with government to ensure that the AFCFTA is operationalized in the Gambia, and also most especially in the sub-region that is here in West Africa, given that already other protocols such as the ECOWAS free movement of people and goods already exist. So this will serve as a complement to the already existing protocols, ensuring that there is free movement of people and goods and services. And again, we can also go out there and also sensitize our fellow NGOs and also the community at large, given that we also do sensitization programs to ensure that the principles of the Africa Free Continental Trade Area is made known to people, is made known to businesses. Now, in whatever produce they are making, let them know that there's already a readily available market that they can exploit, and that there are avenues that they can also exploit, given the agenda of the AFCFTA.
Just to share a few words about what I believe as a journalist about AFCTA, it's very important to make sure that we can have trade amongst African countries and we can strengthen each other, our economies. There's been a lot of money spent on this concept. If we look at Europe, for example, you can see how free trade is strengthening their economies. Obviously, even here within the West African region, we are seeing how Senegal and Gambia trade between the two countries is an issue that our governments are trying to grapple with. And we hope that eventually we can get to that stage where we can have a good balance between protecting our local economy so that they can also be strengthened, whilst we also empower free trade within the African countries. That way, it's not a lose-lose, it's a win-win for all of us. So I hope that today we can learn a lot more about AFCTA as journalists, as media, and people who, civil society advocates as well, who are close to those people who we say are affected. That way we can tell their stories within this whole idea of having stronger economies that trade in between African countries. So with those short few words, I want to say thank you so much to the Ministry of Trade and for this initiative, because we feel that this is what we want to see. We want to see a close relationship between the fourth estate and the government themselves. That way, we work towards having a stronger economy for Gambians. Thank you.